Were you ringside or pretty near ringside?
I was
for that one?
ringside, sitting next to LL Cool J.
Oh, really?
He's lived the life of Simon,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
sitting next to him, he admired my spats. I was wearing a pair of wingtips at the time, black and white wingtips. God knows what I was thinking. God knows what I was thinking. I have to say, I don't want to pee on people's parade, but I was underwhelmed by this fight because Tyson was not anywhere near what he once was before. The hype before the fight was far more compelling, and it was just after 2000. It was 2002, so it was after 9/11. So the security getting into these buildings were very, very difficult. So you're queuing outside. It was in the pyramids in Memphis. The heat was unbelievable, and the atmosphere inside the stadium was phenomenal. And the entrance of Tyson, there were security guards in the middle of the ring to keep Tyson from one side from Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most jeopardy that Lennox Lewis was in the entire fight. Because he just walked through him. And I'd been to the fights previous to that, see him fight Evander Holyfield twice, to fight David Tuohy, to fight Michael Grant. And of course, this was the final fight that he had before he fought Klitschko and retired, winning against Klitschko, even though Klitschko was probably winning that fight.
It's a great moment for Lewis. How much did you pay for your ticket?
I can't remember.
Yes, you can.
Surely it was a comp. Surely you didn't pay.
Well, I
And
think it was a
someone
casino
said
comp,
Simon
'cause
Jordan, give him it for free.
I think it was a casino comp because
Yeah,
if you go to the casino and spend a lot of money, they'll comp you the big fights.
And did you?
Stayed in the Peabody. Ian Wright was there as well. Stayed in the Peabody Hotel where the famous ducks walk through at lunchtime. I wanted them on my bleeding plate, not walking through the hospital. For the hotel, sorry.
Lennox Lewis.
20 years ago.
Oh, man, what he achieved. Incredible. Never mind Lennox Lewis. Dereck Chisora heading back into the ring, Ade. We know that. Is this the right decision for him?
Let's put two hats on. The Zone hat says, look, live on the Zone, July 9th. I'm sure that talkSPORT will probably have listening rights to it as well. No, if I'm honest with you.
No.
It's not. No,
He's
it's
fighting
not,
Kubrat
no.
Pulev.
Yeah, I thought maybe after the Joseph Parker fight, he might say enough was enough. I was there for that fight. It was a tough fight to watch. And I remember saying, if he is going to continue, let it just be fun fights now for Dereck Chisora. I know there was talks about Kalnaki from America who's come off the back of a couple of defeats, and maybe that could have been a fun fight. Pulev, I think, is still very much serviceable. Let's not forget he fought AJ for a world title, 14, 15 months ago. He's had a couple of wins since then. He's still very, very good. And it's a rematch of a fight that happened in 2016.
Come on, Kubrat Pulev is nowhere near what he once was before.
No,
he's a finished.
Absolutely.
It's the battle of who has least left.
It's going to be carnage, and I think that's what they build it as, carnage. It's going to be carnage for the first 5 or 6 rounds, and I think that's what makes it fun. Is it going to be fight of the year? Probably not. Is it, one of the best fights we've ever seen? No, but it's going to be carnage, and sometimes, you just need to see two guys have a phone booth fight.
I mean, Derek's forgotten that's what you need sometimes. And that's what it will be. Derek's forgotten what it's like to win because he hasn't won in 3 years. He's obviously fought Parker twice and he's fought Usyk. So you understand that these fights.
Not bad, yeah.
And Parker was far more compelling in the last fight with Dereck than he was in the previous one, right? So you give that to Parker and on the basis of what he did. But you look at the dynamics of this fight and you think, Dereck sat in the studio with us and talked about because a lot of people are saying time for him to go. If he doesn't think it's time for him to go, and he can get paid in these fights, because there's been times in Derek's career where he stepped up against everybody.
Yeah.
He stepped against
and hasn't been paid, by the way,
hasn't been
back
paid.
in the day.
So now he's getting paid. So I make him right
to want to fight.
I'm not. If he's not worried about his health, then it's not our gift to be worried for him.
Agreed.
And so in that particular space, I think he earned the right. He's earning the right to get paid. He's building a pension for himself, and this is the one way he's going to do it.
You're only talking positively about him because you've learned in the last few moments that Dereck Chisora is going to be in the studio tomorrow morning.
I was the one that when he came in the studio and you tried to mix it up and tried to say that he said to me, you wouldn't say what I said to you down the telephone. I said, well, I'm saying it to you now, Dereck. I don't know what you're talking about. So, well, you wouldn't. I just said it, Dereck.
Well, what was it you said to him before?
I said he's not a world level.
Right. And that's what he didn't like.
But I said it again to his face, so it didn't make that much sense that he was saying I wouldn't say it. But my point is, I said the same thing to him now, which is everyone's saying you shouldn't fight. You should do what you want to do. You're going to get paid now because you've built a body of work that people know when they go into a fight to see you fight, they're going to have a fight. It's going to be a fight. Whether you like the style or whether you like to see people being mauled and lent on one another, but you're going to see a barn burner. And
Jim, he's incredible, Dereck. I don't know any sort of fighter. There's a guy in America called Gabriel Rosado, but most fighters, if you lose double-digit losses like Dereck Scott, that's it, you're done. No one wants to see you, you're finished. The fact he can still put so many bums on seats, and it probably will, do good numbers at the O2 Arena with as many losses as he's had,
because
it's testament.
He's an honest fighter, and he leaves it all in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see. And especially with some of the fights he's had recently, he's given himself a new generation of people that admire him. Back in the day when he and David Hay were brawling outside a fight, people were thinking, who's this guy?
Crazy guy.
And I knew Dereck from years ago. He was training in Marbella and he's friends with a lot of people that I know. So I was watching his career develop. And I never felt that he would get the sort of feelings that people have towards him now, which is a great admiration. But I'm not interested in this fight.
Are you going to tell him that tomorrow?
Yeah. But he doesn't like that.
Is Eddie here tomorrow as well?
Tickets.
Eddie tomorrow as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, he's coming.
The snake oil salesman.
Eddie versus Simon Jordan.
The snake oil salesman.
That alone, you should tune in just for that.
I look forward to that. We'll make sure that Chisora is suitably fired up about his next meeting with Mr. Jordan.
Pay his gambling debts.
Listen, he owes you £100.
He does.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll look forward to you to try and prize that out of his wallet. But Ade, just before we head off today, Joshua, AJ, now parting company with Rob McCracken, it is being understood, and teaming up with Robert Garcia. Is it a good move for him?
Yes and no. First of all, let's give some praise to Rob McCracken. He done fantastic with AJ, not just from his pro career as an amateur as well. Obviously, Rob McCracken works closely with Team GP, Team GB. So he's done well. I think AJ just needed a fresh face, a new voice in the corner, new ideas. The one thing that I don't like, and look, Robert Garcia is a fantastic fantastic trainer. I think he's trained something like 14 world champions through various weight classes, not a heavyweight world champion. And I know some people have raised their eyebrows at that. The one thing I don't like is that Robert Garcia is coming over to here to train AJ. I think they're going to train at Loughborough. Robert Garcia's got a fantastic boxing gym in California, Oxnard. That's East Surroundings. You want to get the best Robert Garcia, he needs to be in East Surroundings. And I think AJ should have gone to America to come out of his comfort zone a little bit. Go to America, go to Robert Garcia's gym, different bags, different ring, learn from him there in his own surroundings, and then we'll see. But regardless if it's Robert Garcia or the late, great Emmanuel Stewart, it's still Alexander Usyk in the corner, and that's a formidable opponent for AJ.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.